Hello guys, how are you today? This is the part 46 of the Witcher Enhanced Edition. Let's continue on for the chapter 4. We will still do the exploring and finishing the side quest that we can get for today. So enjoy everyone, and don't forget to press like and subscribe.
Good you're here.
Need help?
No charity, please.
I see. Care to play dice?
Why not? Got nothing to lose.
Why stay and rot here?
beautiful area. Lasses are enchanted.
Bertalina sure catches my eye.
Stay away from our Zalka, Switcher.
Come
from afar, see no signs of a wedding.
No rain.
Curse these wedding curses.
How can I help?
2 innkeepers?
Mama and Papa own the inn. Mama won't let me speak to strangers.
As a waitress, you have to talk to strangers.
Not true. Only regulars visit our inn. Got you there.
I'm a stranger.
You're Geralt of Rivia. Master Dandelion sang a ballad about you, so I know you.
Got me there.
How can I help?
I'd like to order.
Wait here.
Stay away from our Zalka, Switcher.
Can I help you?
How can I help?
I saw your notice.
I need wyvern eggs for my famous omelets.
Here are 3.
Wonderful.
Here's your coin. How can I help?
One thing.
Yes?
May I help you?
Farewell.
Fighting?
Greetings.
Hello.
What be your moniker?
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Lucky to have two witches visit us. Ha ha! I, Tobias Hoffman, am the village chief.
Haha, yourself.
Beastie Beta, what brings you here?
Any non-humans around here?
Elves live on the shore. Pretty disagreeable lot. I thought to give them leftover food. They looked at me so cold I nearly froze. They're a strange bunch. Still, I've enough to do here in the village without worrying about them.
I heard there's going to be a wedding.
Yes, my dear daughter Alina is marrying a gallant, hard-working and honest fellow. You know the joy that finding a good lad for your daughter brings? No? Thought not. Fighting is all your kind thinks about.
That's not quite true, but... Listen, got any jobs for a Witcher?
There are more urgent matters. We'll need to discuss that another time.
Any work for a Witcher?
A creature looking like a fish with legs appears by the lake. They say the crypt in the fields is home to a beast. It has huge teeth, resembles a dead mother-in-law. Horrible, they say.
Any reward for these creatures?
Bring proof, and I'll be generous.
Tell me more.
About what?
Any non-humans around here?
Elves live on the shore. Pretty disagreeable lot. I thought to give them leftover food. They looked at me so cold I nearly froze. They're a strange bunch. Still, I've enough to do here in the village without worrying about them.
I see.
There's also the fish people. A scourge on our lives.
How so?
They got vicious, driving us away from the water, wounding some of us, and killing a few. Julian knows more.
I'll have a talk with him.
Beastie Beta?
Farewell.
Keep away from elves, or they may stay for good.
Greetings!
Hello.
How can I help the gentleman?
Who might you be?
Master Handyman at your service. I handle repairs of all kinds, produce strange and non-standard objects, and am a capable creative blacksmith and carpenter.
You're rather versatile.
One has to survive, so I offer other services. Besides, I have an expensive hobby.
A hobby?
My kin and I yearn to build a flying machine. We built several already, but none worked. We had to cover the pilot's medical expenses.
I see.
Yes?
Witcher, those noon wraiths keep us from working the fields.
Well,
Not for free, I know. May that miser Hoffman part with some coin to end this problem.
where did the noon wraiths come from?
They are midday demons, appearing when the sun reaches its zenith. Even children know that.
I'm happy to learn more.
Noon wraiths are born of heat, grief, and the ploughboy's sweat drops. They dance in the sun and draw in careless wanderers. No man has ever survived a dance with the noon wraiths. They depart when the sun sets and return when the sun reaches high in the sky again.
Thanks for the tale.
Quite little bite to eat.
Greetings! What brings you here?
A wonderful aroma.
I'm cooking a traditional Temerian sauerkraut stew.
Any work for me?
If memory serves, a witcher is like a magical warrior.
I slay monsters, drowners, kikimors.
I'll doubtless need you sometime.
You must be an excellent cook.
Oh, it's nothing. My husband slaughtered a pig, and I decided to make sauerkraut stew. I have other specialties.
My stomach is rumbling.
You're quite thin. I made ribs in mead yesterday. Care for some?
Gladly.
There you are, bless you.
Any work?
Yes, I am having terrible trouble with my husband.
What happened?
That old fool found himself a succubus. Thinks I can't hear them frolicking at night.
I'm to get rid of the succubus?
I learned an old folk remedy from my mother. I'll need 9 handfuls of glimmering dust from the hair of noon wraiths in the fields.
What about payment?
I have this herb manual listing local herbs. Bring me dust to scare off the succubus, and you'll have the book.
I'll take the job.
Deal. Master Witcher,
Remind me what to do?
bring me 9 handfuls of glimmering dust from the noon wraiths in the field. These phantoms only come out in daytime.
Farewell.
You, sir, step here.
What is it?
I overheard you speaking with my wife. I have an offer for you.
Not interested in partying with your charming demoness?
My wife exaggerates about the frolicking. As a man, you understand innocent entertainment harms no one.
What do you propose?
A folk spell will put the succubus to sleep for a while. My wife will calm down, and afterwards, I can quietly awake the succubus.
What do you need?
9 handfuls of shadow dust from devourers. They appear in the fields at night and are very dangerous.
What will I get in exchange?
I have red meteorite, which can improve your sword. Or perhaps you'd prefer gold. Say 500 orens?
I'll help.
Not a word to my wife.
You asked for help. What did you want me to do?
Bring me 9 handfuls of shadow dust. To do that, go to the fields and kill several devourers, from which you can scrape the dust.
Farewell.
Have you heard of Gimpy Mary? Turned into a swan by the Lady of the Lake, then flew off into the world as she had long wished.
Strange.
Women.
Don't speak like one from Rivia.
Keep away from pebbles or they may stay for good.
This place stinks. The ale should leave the lakeside.
Foolish lasses. Barangar's clearly more handsome. Have you heard of Gimpy swan by the lady of the lake, then flew off into the world as she had long wished for.
But one bite to eat.
Handsome. Foolish lasses. Berengar's clearly more handsome. This is boring.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you.
I'm in no mood. Yes?
Is your sister happy about getting married?
She's happy. She has no concern for her younger sister. Elena doesn't deserve happiness. Oh, how I hate that nymphette! Now she's ensnared Julian, a wealthy town merchant, while she wanders about with her nose in the clouds.
Don't worry. You'll find a good husband.
Better than Julian? Not, woe, I suffer for the masses, Adam? How pathetic. Or perhaps you mean the hermit? Such are my options. Did you see the engagement ring Julian gave Alina? A diamond larger than a pigeon's egg.
Calm yourself.
Why take her side? Admit it, she's dazzled you. Oh, how I despise her! She'll not have you. I'll give myself to you right now on the nearest rock. You merely need to give me a nicer ring than the one Julian gave Alina.
I have the ring.
Show me. It must be more beautiful than Alina's engagement ring. That's the ring? So be it. I'll show Alina I can have any man.
But,
Kiss me.
all right.
How untrue that revenge tastes better served cold. How untrue that revenge tastes better served cold.
How strange. You bring trouble.
That's unforgivable.
Oh, you're getting old, Granny.
How much longer?
A customer.
Why so surprised?
Rarely do any buy arms in murky waters. I'm no salesman like my father.
Your father.
My father told me to sell arms. But if no one buys... Oh, but better not to argue with father.
Maybe he wanted you busy.
Perhaps. I'm to sit quiet and sell to those who want to buy.
Maybe I should move.
You'll only bring trouble.
A customer.
Greeks are a nuisance.
You're different. How interesting.
I'd love a bite.
A customer.
Maybe I should.
You bring trouble.
She gives 10 quarts of milk daily.
Look here! A champion cow!
Take a good look, Mr. Witcher. You're not likely to ever see another cow like this one.
She is impressive.
Look at that glistening coat. A tail, and that udder.
Mm-hmm.
We plan to mate her with a champion bull from Bullsville. That'll be something. A stock known round the world.
No doubt.
Ah, our strawberry is so beautiful.
Later.
Take a good look, Mr. Witcher. You're not likely to ever see another cow like this one.
She is impressive.
Look at that glistening coat. A tail, and that udder.
Mm-hmm.
We plan to mate her with a champion bull from Bullsville. That'll be something. A stock known round the world.
No doubt.
Our strawberry is so beautiful.
Later.
Quite long bite to eat.
Yes?
Farewell.
My regards, Mr. Witcher.
Women. When will those
Feel it under the water. Maybe I should meet him.
I'll speak plainly. I like what I see and want to get to know you.
How nice.
I'm no easy lass, though. You understand a gentleman must court a lady, am I right?
You are.
Now that we know each other better, you should take the initiative and bring me something sweet. A sugar doll sweet as me. Just what I wanted.
Let's take our relationship further.
Come home with me. Let me thank you.
Let's go.
How can I help?
One thing.
Yes?
Yes?
Everything will die. It's unavoidable. How can I help? How can I help?
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Who lies beneath the kurgans I saw before your hermitage?
Knights who died serving the lady over the ages. Gavanda defended her honour against the Black Skull Knight. Elevera perished at the foot of her altar, fighting a water beast. Boar's tomb is symbolic, for the knight was lost on a holy mission. The last is for Renard, an ordinary innkeeper, who stopped customers from pissing in the lake.
Who lies beneath the fifth mound?
The last stands empty, awaiting a new champion.
Who lies beneath the kurgans I saw before your hermitage?
Knights who died serving the lady over the ages. Gavanda defended her honour against the Black Skull Knight. Elevera perished at the foot of her altar, fighting a water beast. Boar's tomb is symbolic, for the knight was lost on a holy mission. The last is for Renard, an ordinary innkeeper, who stopped customers from pissing in the lake.
Do you take care of the kurgans?
Indeed. That is how I serve the lady. Her power is strong near the kurgans. At night, sometimes, you can speak with the lady's champions. From them I draw wisdom and knowledge of past times.
Who is the Lady of the Lake?
I know her to be a goddess. At times I see her dressed in white, traversing the fields through morning fog, her bare feet stepping lightly over the dewy grass.
Do you like her?
I love her. I believe the lady is not of this world. Mysteriously, she affects the entire area, safeguarding its people and granting them abundance. Yet her influence is subtle, and she never imposes her power.
Intriguing.
How can I help?
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
I heard you're an expert on the legend of the Holy Grail.
You seek the Holy Grail?
I might. Let's talk first.
Know that the legend of the Holy Grail has been studied for centuries. It's been interpreted in myriad ways.
You must know an abridged version. Say, 3 theories?
There are hundreds. But all right, 3. The classic theory, of which I myself am a proponent. The conspiracy theory. And finally, one of the most mysterious. The philosophical or mystical. Which one first?
The philosophical, mystical one.
The most esoteric. The Grail is a concept, a general understanding of good. The search for the Grail is nothing beyond an ordinary quest for perfection.
Interesting.
The Grail has no specific form or shape. It differs for each individual. It can be an object, an idea, a discovery. It can also be a search for the truth about oneself. This theory claims the quest for the Grail to be the goal in itself. The result is of secondary importance.
What are you suggesting?
I serve the lady and am more insightful than you think. I know you return to the world of the living from death, presumably in search of something, but that is none of my concern. Just remember one thing.
What?
At the end of your journey, the Grail may prove to be entirely different from what you initially expected it to be.
The conspiracy theory sounds interesting.
This was popularized by Bronze Dan and begins with a convoluted theory about the derivation of the word Grail. A few tortuous pages in, we learn the Holy Grail is actually Sangreal, which in the Elder tongue denotes royal hallowed blood. Bronze Dan concludes that the Grail is actually the descendants of the prophet Lebioda.
Enough of this conspiracy talk. Tell me the classic theory.
Good choice. The Grail is a cup, a powerful magical object, whose meaning cannot be fathomed by even the most powerful sorcerers. This chalice possesses the power to heal all diseases, poisonings, and wounds, and pain will turn into power. One theory also states that in the hands of a rightful ruler, It can heal entire lands and protect their inhabitants from danger, creatures of the dark, natural disasters, and so forth.
Sounds like Dandelion's ballads, only without a love story.
All who drink from this miraculous cup are healed, fortified, and enlightened to understand the truth.
Go on.
Knights have been seeking the Grail for ages, yet none succeeded. Both the noble Lancel and the bold Bors failed. I heard even the Grand Master of the Order of the Flaming Rose has shown interest.
Any specific instructions associated with this theory?
Unfortunately, I know only what I garnered from my books.
The conspiracy theory sounds interesting.
This was popularized by Bronze Dan and begins with a convoluted theory about the derivation of the word Grail. A few tortuous pages in, we learn the Holy Grail is actually Sangreal, which in the Elder tongue denotes royal hallowed blood. Bronze Dan concludes that the Grail is actually the descendants of the prophet Lebioda.
Go on.
These descendants, talented in the ways of magic, were protected by a secret organization before they ultimately mixed their own blood with that of En Seid, the knowledgeable one. The theory goes on to present the tempestuous and twisted fate of Sangreal, but the author gets lost in his arguments, often contradicts himself. Generally, it turns into an unholy mess.
Enough genealogy and genetics. I sense that's a false trail.
Which theory should I present next?
Thank you. Farewell.
How can I help?
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Why does the Lady of the Lake seem skeptical about the search for the Holy Grail?
Many fine knights set out seeking the Grail, abandoning their roles as guardians of peace and justice under the guidance of the Fisher King and the Lady of the Lake. Now the Fisher King is mute and the knight's gone. I think the lady must be very lonely.
But she's a goddess.
You know not how lonely a goddess. Do you think goddesses cannot be lonely? The gods ultimately created us in their own image.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
I heard you're an expert on the legend of the Holy Grail.
You seek the Holy Grail?
I might. Let's talk first.
Know that the legend of the Holy Grail has been studied for centuries. It's been interpreted in myriad ways.
You must know an abridged version. Say, 3 theories?
There are hundreds. But all right, 3. The classic theory, of which I myself am a proponent. The conspiracy theory. And finally, one of the most mysterious. The philosophical or mystical. Which one first?
Tell me the classic theory.
Good choice. The Grail is a cup, a powerful magical object whose meaning cannot be fathomed by even the most powerful sorcerers. This chalice possesses the power to heal all diseases, poisonings, and wounds, and pain will turn into power. One theory also states that in the hands of a rightful ruler, it can heal entire lands and protect their inhabitants from danger, creatures of the dark, natural disasters, and so forth.
Sounds like Dandelion's ballads, only without a love story.
All who drink from this miraculous cup are healed, fortified, and enlightened to understand the truth.
Let's move on to the conspiracy theory. That one sounds interesting.
This was popularized by Bronze Dan and begins with a convoluted theory about the derivation of the word Grail. A few tortuous pages in, we learn the Holy Grail is actually Sangreal, which in the Elder tongue denotes royal hallowed blood. Bronze Dan concludes that the Grail is actually the descendants of the prophet Lebioda.
Go on.
These descendants, talented in the ways of magic, were protected by a secret organization before they ultimately mix their own blood with that of Said, the knowledgeable one. The theory goes on to present the tempestuous and twisted fate of Sangreal, but the author gets lost in his arguments, often contradicts himself. Generally, it turns into an unholy mess.
Enough genealogy and genetics. I sense that's a false trail.
Which theory should I present next?
Thank you. Farewell.
How can I help?
Anything a Witcher can do for you?
I do have a problem.
How can I help?
There's a druid's ring nearby with an ancient statue of the goddess. The place is saturated with the power and attracts dangerous entities.
Not surprising.
The Wild Hunt began haunting the ring recently. Its king hopes to lure the souls of the warriors laid in the kurgans by my hut.
I have dealt with the hunt. What would you like me to do?
Kill 9 phantoms, a hallowed number of the druids. Perhaps the appearance of a witcher will drive off the king of the hunt. As your reward, you may have a book on vampires, ownership of a hut, or a wreath of immortelles.
I can do that.
Remember this. The king of the hunt is a powerful opponent, and no mortal, not even you, can hope to defeat him.
So how do I fight him?
Find mandrake root by the kurgans near my hut. The magic herb will keep the king of the hunt at bay. Merely light the candle that stands within the ring and sprinkle mandrake upon the flame.
Yeah, that sounds helpful.
How can I help?
Remind me what to do?
Slay 9 phantoms within the druid's ring. They only appear at night. The king of the hunt is the fiercest of them.
How do I handle him?
Find mandrake root by the kurgans near my hut. The magic herb will keep the king of the hunt at bay. Merely light the candle that stands within the ring and sprinkle mandrake upon the flame.
Yeah, that sounds helpful.
How can I help?
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
What do you know about the Wild Hunt?
'Tis a group of crazed spectres who traverse the heavens searching for souls like themselves. They are susceptible to magic, especially of the ritual kind.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
What can the Wreath of Immortelles do?
You might find it useful.
Yes?
Milady, I have had a revelation and wish to embark on a mission.
Geralt, I'm warning you.
The hermit helped me come to an understanding.
Tell me.
Soon I will depart. I don't know if I'll find my grail, but I must.
I shall not keep you.
I do understand your sorrow, your solitude. If I can do anything...
Cease treating me like a goddess. I have enough worshippers. I lack one who sees me as other than the object of a cult.
Milady, simple folk, they don't understand.
I judge them not. But let's return to your desire to help. Begin by paying me a compliment.
I'm no good at this. Milady, your wisdom is inferior only to your goodness.
Enough. I choose not to believe you don't find me attractive. Rather, I blame your famous scruples.
Milady, your eyes are like stars glimmering in the night sky.
Distant and cold. Weak, Witcher.
Your ass puts others to shame.
None has ever paid me such a compliment. My brave knights only praised my soul, though I knew where their eyes fixated. Regardless, Geralt, must I tell you my desire, or can you divine it? Yes?
Why the Fisher King?
Shinaz called you clever. Yet your voice betrays that tone so typical of males who think they may treat their lovers as property.
Milady,
You think yourself the only, the best, the biggest.
Milady,
Males are all alike.
I'm sorry. I'll be going.
You're too old to take offense. Not everyone can master the bedroom.
I'm going.
I jest. It wasn't that bad. Now we are even.
Farewell.
my regards, Mr. Witcher.
A customer.
Moonrace? Nonsense.
Can I help you?
How can I help?
One thing.
Yes?
Alright guys, I'll end the video here, and I'm sorry if, it's become a very long video, as it has so much that I have need to do. So in the next part I will do one of these quests. Maybe I will start finishing this quest, Temptation, and also hunting the Wild Hunt quest. So see you in the next part. Bye.